Here with a first look at our forecast. Elyse?
Hey there, Tom. We had some of those pop-up showers and storms today across southeast Texas, but they were not as widespread as some of the rain that we've seen the past few days. 13 alert radar, you can see primarily quiet. We did have the influence of the sea breeze and some gust front, some outflow from a couple of showers and storms that were over Harris County earlier today. You can see now one remaining shower that's in Waller County, just north of Brookshire along I-10 here. That is raining out. Had one positive lightning strike with it. So again, some of these, even though they're tiny showers and storms, can produce some lightning and some gusty winds. The outflow and the gust front from a couple of these storms has made it a little farther north. So I'm not going to rule out potentially a stray shower over the next hour or so. But generally speaking, once the sun begins to set, we lose the sunshine, we lose the daytime heating, we start to dry out. And it was hot. Speaking of heating, hot today with triple-digit heat index values. We're now down to feeling like 99 in Lake Conroe. Feels like 96 here at ABC 13. Feels like 102 in Galveston with temperatures in the upper 80s or low 90s. So for your forecast for tonight, it is going to be quite steamy and a warm evening with temperatures falling into the upper 70s. We rebound into the low 90s tomorrow, and we do have a better chance for showers and thunderstorms tomorrow because of a deeper wave of moisture that is moving in from the Gulf. That's not necessarily affiliated, though, with potential storm 2. Yes, we now have a tropical depression in the Bay of Campeche. You can see it's pretty stationary right now, but we are expecting the system to move north over the next 24 hours. But I will reiterate, this does not pose a threat to Houston or the Texas coast at this moment. We're going to go over the latest track, timing, and why we're not expecting any impacts from what could be potentially Tropical Storm Barry coming up in my full forecast, Tom.
Elyse Smith joining us with some talk about the heat and the rain still to come.
Yeah, there's a lot going on right now. We had that chance for a few isolated showers and storms today, a better chance for them to be more widely scattered tomorrow, and that's because of some higher humidity, some deeper moisture moving in from the Gulf. Not necessarily affiliated with this, but this is something we have to talk about because this is the newest development we have in the tropics. We now have potential storm 2, a tropical depression that's in the Bay of Campeche. The hurricane hunters flew through this area today to investigate it. You can see all the swirling showers and thunderstorms that are there, pretty stationary right now. So this is a tropical depression with winds of 30 miles per hour, wind gusts up to 40, minimum central pressure. So we're just starting to see this organized right now. Good news is this is not going to be a storm for us, but we are expecting this tropical depression to potentially strengthen to a tropical storm and then become Barry, if it does, tomorrow. Then quickly makes landfall late Sunday night into early Monday morning along the Gulf Coast of Mexico. Potentially as a weak tropical storm could bring flooding and, of course, those storm force winds. You can see the tropical storm watches out for the Gulf Coast of Mexico as well. No impacts expected to us here in the United States. One reason why is because of Saharan dust. Another is a jet streak over Texas. That's going to keep that system to the south. But the Saharan dust, this is actually our main tropical story. We have one plume moving into the Gulf right now, another one on the way for next week. So the first plume is going to be here for much of the week, potentially leading to a hazy skyline, but also depending on the density and that cloud position, could also lead to some poor air quality for several days this next week. You see that Saharan dust cloud over our heads, and then the second one pushing in ahead of next weekend. There's not as much certainty with where that cloud will go at this moment, but just be aware that for several days next week, we could see that hazy skyline. And if you are sensitive to different atmospheric particles like Saharan dust, this is something you're going to want to take note of next week. And not only will we have the Saharan dust, but we'll have the quote-unquote Saharan heat. It will be hot and dry next week. Temperatures are going to stay in the low 90s, but then crank up into the mid to upper 90s as we head into the 4th of July holiday. Freedom over Texas is going to be another hot one here in southeast Texas. Then we have the chance to see triple-digit temperatures up on the board as we head into the following weekend. Meanwhile, right now, here's a live look to Houston. It's beautiful outside, but it has been steamy today, quite so. Temperatures in the low 90s, but we've had feels like temperatures today in the triple digits. Currently feels like 96 degrees in Houston and in Galveston right now. 89 degrees, typical. We're usually in the upper 80s. And water temperatures, though, It's 90 for a water temperature. It's warmer in the water than it is in the air right now in Galveston. 13 alert radar, not much to talk about. Again, we had that daytime heating, isolated shower and storm. We have a couple that are still developing off of the outflow and the sea breeze to our west, and some to the north too and near Beaumont. But here generally we're dry. We're going to keep things pretty warm tonight with temperatures falling into the mid 70s. Then we'll rebound into the low 90s with a better chance to see some more widely scattered showers and storms tomorrow. So playing through future track again, fizzling out with any activity tonight. Should be primarily dry overnight. We see the sea breeze getting going in the morning. That begins to lift north. This is 3 p.m. You see more activity potentially on the radar in the middle of the afternoon. We keep a few scattered showers and storms in the forecast through the evening hours through sunset, and then we are drier by late tomorrow night. Rest of your 10-day forecast from here, you'll notice we are drying out, and then we are heating up with that hazy sky from some Saharan dust in the forecast over this next week with hot temperatures heading into freedom over Texas, Tom.
For now, we certainly appreciate you being with us. Stay tuned for our special Houston Red, White, and Wow with Freedom Over Texas headliner Lee Bryce. It's coming up next. The system is a threat to southeast Texas.
Hi there, Tom. Yes, the hurricane hunters flew through this broad area of showers and thunderstorms earlier today, found a minimum central pressure and winds up to 30 miles per hour. So we have a tropical depression right now in the Bay of Campeche. You can see it here in the latest update that just came from the National Hurricane Center. The center of the system has now moved farther west. That's good news because that means it's even closer to making landfall in Mexico. Again, this is potential storm 2. If it were to strengthen to a tropical storm or a tropical system, it would become the second named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season, which would be Barry. Now, as for this potential storm Barry, one reason why I am not concerned about Texas or us here in southeast Texas is because of our steering winds. We have a big jet streak over the Gulf right now, and that is going to prevent any tropical system that potentially develops from going farther north. This system could potentially become Barry into tomorrow, strengthening before making landfall off the coast of Mexico. But as for Texas, any impacts? Nada, at least not this time around. Meanwhile, tonight it is humid out there. You can feel that tropical humidity, and that is going to create some tropical downpours tomorrow for us. We have a better chance to see a few more scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening hours with that sea breeze getting going. It's going to be another warm start to the day with temperatures in the upper 70s or low 80s. Then we climb into the upper 80s or low 90s. We're going to have the latest on a future track to show you the storms we're expecting and another look at that potential tropical impact for the Gulf coming up in my full forecast.
Meteorologist Elyse Smith here with that low in the Gulf.
Yes. It's approaching the Gulf right now. It's in the Bay of Campeche, so it's right near the Yucatan Peninsula. And the good news is it looks like this system is not going to pose a threat to the Gulf or really to southeast Texas or the Texas coast. In the latest analysis that I've been monitoring with potential storm 2, what I've noticed is the center of it is approaching the Mexico coast on the Gulf side much quicker. That bodes well for us. That means a potential landfall of the system is likely going to be sooner in the day tomorrow on Sunday, potentially as early as the evening hours. This system now tracking to the west-northwest at about 8 miles per hour. You still see it's pretty unorganized, but there is that broad rotation, that counterclockwise motion with a central pressure of about 10 and 11 millibars there. Getting a little technical, but the winds, that's what we're looking at. Winds of 30 miles per hour for that tropical depression. Now, we are still expecting this to potentially strengthen to a tropical storm before making landfall along the Texas coast. And that would make it as the second named storm of the system, potentially Barry. Yes, I know another B storm, and I know that can be antsy when we have a B storm this time of year near the Gulf. I understand that, but with the steering currents overhead and with the Saharan dust that's currently in the Gulf, that's why I believe this is not going to be a threat for us in southeast Texas this time around. Landfall is fast approaching with this system, and it's likely going to be far to our south of Texas, even in Mexico. We talked about the steering currents in my first forecast, but as for the Saharan dust, there it is. So where we have that potential system right now in the Bay of Campeche, this Saharan dust is also going to block it from tracking farther north. This is Monday. You see that plume of Saharan dust moving into the Gulf Coast, and then it lingers. It's a pretty thick concentration that we could see around, with a secondary wave of Saharan dust moving in potentially into next weekend. So we have a tropical impact this week, but it's dust, and this Saharan dust could potentially potentially lead to some minor respiratory issues for those who have underlying respiratory illnesses. Nothing new, but if you do know that you are sensitive to particulate matter, you might want to limit your time outside, especially in the peak hours of the day. Throughout the day next week, we're also going to see a hazy skyline, especially seen around sunrise and sunset. It's also a hot and dry pattern we're getting into over the next few days into Freedom Over Texas on the 4th of July. So we do have temperatures staying in the low 90s, and then we really climb into the mid to upper 90s and potentially triple digits as we head into the first weekend of July. That next weekend, 100 up on the board, potentially for next Sunday. Meanwhile, tonight it is clear, it is warm outside, the rain has all fizzled out. 83 degrees right now in Houston, still feels like 89 though. And then in Galveston right now, 85 degrees. That high humidity gave us a couple of those pop-up showers today, and we have that on tap for tomorrow as well. So temperatures tonight falling into the mid to upper 70s, and then we rebound into the low 90s for tomorrow. And we do have a better chance to see some more widely scattered thunderstorms as well around southeast Texas. And you'll see that here on Future Track. So playing through for tomorrow morning, we start to see that sea breeze going along the coast. So potentially a few isolated showers along the coast in the morning. Then moving into the afternoon hours, you do see here that chance for some scattered thunderstorms around Houston and southeast Texas mid-afternoon through early evening hours tomorrow. Some of these could have some gusty winds and some heavy rainfall, and of course thunder and lightning. So if you hear thunder and you're outside, time to head in. Some of these can be prolific lightning makers, even though they're not necessarily severe. Rest of the 10-day forecast from here, Saharan dust is the story once we get into this next week, and warmer temperatures will be in the upper 90s near the triple digits around the 4th of July.
All right, Elyse.